UFC. I am the greatest combat actor of all time.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to this episode of Tell the Tape. I'm your host, Henry Cejudo, aka Triple C. And now today's episode of Tell the Tape, I'm going to be breaking down Kevin Holland versus Michael Venom Page. That's right, the newcomer, the transfer from Bellator, now in the UFC. I mean, I've had a chance to watch this dude fight. I've had a chance to watch some of the most brutal knockouts I see probably in MMA. I'm talking about this dude breaking skulls and things of that nature. But this episode wouldn't be possible without our sponsor. That's right, I'm talking about Aptive. If you are a former fighter, former wrestler that doesn't like to take no for an answer, well, guess what, guys? I have the place for you. That's right, I'm talking about Aptive. One of the nation's largest sales companies that will teach you how to sell. That's right, you will be going door to door knocking. But guess what, guys? I know between 17 and 18-year-old kids that are making a huge living, anywhere between $500,000 to $1 million a year for going college. So if you guys want to put your money where your mouth is, you guys make sure to go to summersales.org/Triple C because it is time to level up. Well, here we have it. Kevin Holland, number 13, versus Michael Venom Page. 25-10, one no contest to 21-2. And I want to say one of the losses that he did end up losing to Diego Lima, he ended up actually beating him. So I sometimes I feel like when you're able to make up that fight, it's almost like you've learned your lesson when you're able to come back. So I think he has one loss, and I don't know who the hell that is to. But either way, 13 KOs to 14 KOs, 4 decisions to 5 decisions, 7 submissions to 3 submissions. 6'3", 6'3", 81-inch reach for Holland, 279-inch reach for Venom Page, age 31 to age 36. Without further ado, man, let's talk about the entertainer. Let's talk about the dude that loves to entertain, and obviously he packs that punch. Kevin Holland. What are his strengths? It's his reach. His ability to be able to use that reach according to his height. And he does it very, very well with that. The other thing too is his stance, his switching of his stance. He likes to go lefty, he likes to go right. I mean, pretty much Holland is a dude that you really gotta almost, you don't know who you're gonna get. He's a freestyle fighter. You know, depending on what he's feeling or what's going on in the fight, like he's gonna adapt and he's gonna do what he do. And his movement, obviously his stance switching along with his reach, but it's also his movements that makes it problematic for a lot of people. Sometimes he'll be in that fight zone, and sometimes, you know what? He'll skate around. He'll skate until he's ready to start going again. And obviously he has an 84% finishing rate. I mean, the dude at one point, I mean, you finish a guy like Jacare, you finish a lot of these guys the fashion that Kevin Holland has done. There's something special about these hands right here. You know, the dude has fireworks in there. Maybe, you know, there might be a brick or two in those gloves. But also, let's talk about his weaknesses. His takedowns defense. His takedown defense is it's suspect, dude. It's obviously a lot of the guys that always want to make, you know, because knowing that you're gonna fight a guy like Kevin Holland and how dangerous that he actually is, one thing that I'm thinking if I'm in his position is I'm looking to possibly take this dude down because he's too powerful here with the hands. His cardio, man. I remember when he fought Wonder Boy Thompson, it was all a striking fight. Like he was trying to take this dude down. After a while, you know, he got beat up by Wonder Boy, but either way, man, he went out swinging, and I could respect that. But his cardio could be a little suspect in that sense. His tactics, you know, sometimes he does make head-scratching decisions. You're like, man, like Kevin, why would you do that? Like you're winning the round. You just lost it because you took more opportunities, and it's like he needs to become a better competitor than he is a fighter because his ability is there. But how do you change a guy like that? How do you change a guy that has been winning, that has fun fighting? You know, because he does love putting on a show. And that could be good or that could be bad. You know, depends on the people who really know this is him and the people that probably known him since he was a little kid. Because if Kevin Holland does not have fun while he's doing the things, maybe he wouldn't be the fighter that he is. maybe he would go down an extreme losing streak. Yeah, Michael Venom Page. Let's talk about Venom Page, the Pokemon. You know, this dude brings theatrics, number one. This is why I kind of love this fight. You know, I don't know what he does this whole thing, but there's something about this thing that's like, that's scary, spooky, cringy, whatever it is that you want to call it, but the dude can fight. His distance management. He comes from the background of Taekwondo, and if you watch him fight, his distance is always, he's always at that right base to where he can get out and he can evade your kicks or punches, but he could also wait for you to come in to eventually throw those crazy right hands. He'll anticipate. He stopped a lot of people when people come in, boom, he'll just throw one right hand. I know one guy, you know, he hit him with that right hand, the dude's like, I'm out. Or he'll get people to come in off his distance and throw that crazy jumping right as he caught Cyborg. I mean, when he caught Cyborg with that knee, I mean, he literally fractured his skull, like put him into another world. He's not only done with that with Cyborg, but he's done that again. He's done that same right knee, that jumping knee, to a lot of people. He's unorthodox. He's the same thing. I almost feel like I'm talking about Kevin Holland in some sense. You know what I'm saying? He's unorthodox. He's lefty, he's righty, he's playing the distance game. But obviously, it's the timing with him. It's the timing of knowing when to go. And again, you want to credit where the credit is due, and a lot of that credit is done through the sport of Taekwondo. How is it that he gets in and out? How is it that he's always bouncing in and out, that it eventually ends up catching somebody? He sets traps. He sets traps whether he hits you or not. He's moving all the damn time to be able to get you to fall, for him to eventually, you know, find that right timing of that right punch, of that right knee, or he'll just double up and go 1-2s. You know, he's not a combination guy. He's a one-hitter quitter type of guy, but when he goes, he's going. And he's done a hell of a good job with that. Let's break down Venom Page's weakness, you know. And we saw it in that fight with Lima and Bellator, how he's able to kind of. There's two things that I can see where is it that Kevin Holland could expose. One is his hands, because his hands are pretty low. But then two, it's really his stance. Even though he does have good distance, he's got a very, very wide stance, and I think Diego Lima was able to. I don't know if you guys remember that time that he did get knocked out by Lima. Lima chopped his legs to eventually bring that left hook and eventually knocked him out. But that's one thing. It's his stance, number one, and then number two is he leaves his hands down a little bit. Against a blitz fighter, you could be in trouble. You know, his bottom game can be held down. I mean, he was held down, you know, against, you know, a lot of these wrestlers who have fought him. And, you know, they'll probably never do that to him again, but he needs to get better off of getting off from bottom. That's one thing where I feel like he doesn't need to use Kevin Holland for any of this. You know what I'm saying? I think like he could, you know, he could be off on his own thing. You know, but so does Kevin Holland. I mean, he could showboat a little bit. Again, I go back to that Lima fight. He was showboating, got too close, got his leg kicked underneath him, and eventually the hands came in and he got knocked out. And the biggest question, he's fought a lot of people, he's knocked out a lot of people, but other than Lima and maybe one of the other wrestlers, I forget who was it that he fought, does he have that UFC experience? It's different. It's different, man. You're going up against guys who are real vets, dude, guys that have, you know, more than 10 fights in the UFC against the best guys in the world, 15 fights in the UFC, 20 fights in the UFC. I mean, does he have that experience? It could be a plus, or it could be a minus. It could be a plus, saying that he hasn't taken that punishment, maybe like Holland has, or it could be a minus. Has he been pushed to that level? But here we are, we return to the stats. Strikes landed per minute. Venom Page is a lot more, he's a lot more active, ironically, crazy. Strike accuracy defensively. Again, Venom Page at 84%. Takedown accuracy. takedown accuracy goes, godly. So every time he attempts a takedown, he gets takedown defense. Is this right? I'm not sure if this is right. I'm not sure if this is right, but if it is, that dude's nearly perfect. Submission average 0, 2. You know, the submission game. We saw the darts that he, you know, we saw, was it the darts that he ended up catching Michael Chiesa? Michael Chiesa even, you know, fantasized about it. It happened to him. But whatever it is, I mean, who is it that was more likely gonna win in this fight? So I think stylistically, guys, these guys are very similar, but if there's one guy that understands the distance game a little bit better, and that's a lot more accurate, that has a lot more movements rather than just being unpredictable, I'm gonna have to go with Michael Venom Page. You know, who am I going for? Yeah, I am going for Kevin Holland. I would love for Kevin Holland to win. You know, he brings the entertainment. You know, he's becoming like the people's champ. He's that, you know, he's that guy. But if there's one guy that I feel like right now going in that hasn't taken that punishment and that understands the distance game and he's able to kind of play that game a little bit better, it is Venom Page. So for that reason, I have Michael Venom Page by decision. Nothing crazy, but I think he easily, well, maybe not easily, but I think he squeezes it out just because he has that base of Taekwondo and just the movements. And I think it might make it very problematic for a guy like Kevin Holland. So if there's one guy that needs to make adjustments in that fight, it's actually Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland needs to bring that fight right away, kick that leg right away, make him fight right away. Don't let him run, don't let him move on you right away, and pretty much just turn it into a dogfight. And we've seen Kevin Holland do that in the past, but will he do it against a guy like Michael Venom Page? Again, guys, thank you guys for watching. That's my breakdown. Michael Venom Page versus Kevin Holland. You guys just watched an episode of Tell the Tape. I'm your host, Cejudo, aka Triple C, and this episode wouldn't be possible without our sponsor. That's right, I'm talking about Aptive. If you're a former fighter, former wrestler, former combat athlete that doesn't like to take no for an answer, well, I got the place for you. That's right, I'm talking about Aptive, one of the world's largest sales companies in the world that will teach you how to sell. Yes, you will be going to door now, but guess what, guys? I know between 17, 18-year-old kids out of high school that are foregoing college to chase the American dream, that are making between $500,000 to $1 million a year. It's time to roll up them sleeves. So if you guys are interested, you guys make sure you go to summersales.org/Triple C. These dudes will house you. They will teach you how to sell. And guess what, guys? You will be out there making all that Skrilla. So again, guys, thank you guys for watching. I'm Triple C. Till next time, I'm out.